Welcome to my kitchen. I'm making some greens for my dogs. I want to walk you through what I do. Sometimes it's just really random what I buy. It depends on if there's something on sale. Other times, just stock items. I love giving my dogs greens. They're super healthy, rich in antioxidants. They digest them well, gives them some fiber in their diet. So I do have a commercial raw that I buy for my dogs, which I've posted some videos on before. But I was in the middle of cooking and I was like, why don't I just show my clients what I do? So let me walk you through my process. Picked up this awesome bag of bok choy here, and I'm gonna chop this up. I've already chopped up some celery hearts. They were on last call. And this baby spinach was actually a better price than the bunches. So I don't normally buy them in the clamshell, but it was on sale. So what I'm going to do in my Vitamix here, this is what the celery hearts look like when they get mashed up. I'm going to start adding stuff and mix into a big greens mix. And then what I can do is keep some in the fridge and then freeze the rest in batches. Everything's going to go in the blender. I use a Vitamix, whatever food processor you have is fine. You're essentially just making like a green sludge. So I'm going to go ahead and start my process and I'll show you how it looks. So basically just dump it in, right? It's like, boom, there's the celery hearts. Boom. I'm gonna add a bunch of spinach, handfuls and handfuls of spinach. Show you here. There's my Vitamix. Handfuls of spinach, you know, and I just do little bits at a time. Blend it up and keep going. Sorry for the noise. I love seeing how the spinach just makes it so deep green. I'm going to keep adding my bok choy in and my celery hearts until I get a really good amount of volume that I'm happy with. And you know, honestly, this is really just me putting whatever I think is healthy for my dogs in a blender. If you're getting a raw mix where it has vegetables, a lot of vegetables in there tend to be a little bit more starchy sometimes. So if I'm trying to remove starch from my dog's diet, or if you have a dog that's got like lots of yeast issues, maybe you've got a doodle or a poodle that gets ear infections and stuff, just removing yeast from the diet, giving meat and healthy veg that doesn't have too much of that is really, really a good idea. So again, you can make it your own. There's a really great book out there called The Forever Dog, and there's lots of recipes and helpful hints from natural stuff, right, that you can do for your dog that just add to their diet of what you're already giving, right? Adding these healthy ingredients, healthy nutrients back into their diet. So here you go. This is sort of what it looks like in there. Nice and rich and green and fluffy. Yeah, so what I do is I just take this entire bin of greens and I freeze it into little containers, put it in the freezer, and defrost as needed. I am not the guy that's going to sit home and make a whole meal for my dogs. That's why I buy commercial raw food. It's already done for me, but this I can do. It takes me 5 minutes to process the greens and then add it to their diet. So what goes into the bowl for my dogs? Here, let me show you. My big dog, Maple, eats 3 patties a day. So 1.5 pounds. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Drew, don't you train them to take the food out of your hand and do the thing you told us to do? Yeah, when they needed to be trained, they didn't get anything out of a bowl when they were in their, you know, learning mode. I use dehydrated raw for outdoor training for walking, recall. So they have treats or training treats now, and they earn their meal through waiting and other stuff. So I could show you how I use this to train them, but this video is not about training, it's about eating. So for folks that are using training treats and they're feeding raw at the end of their day, this is what I do. So again, this raw patty, I would just sort of mince it up a little bit. Now here's what I add to my dog's food. This is a probiotic called Healthy Gut. It's just a digestive enzyme that has pre and probiotics. And there's a lot of science behind why this is important. And again, as humans, we sometimes add probiotics to our diet. So it's just a little powder. And with bigger dogs, doesn't really need that much, but this is just half a teaspoon. So this container lasts me quite a long while. So with Maple, I give her one of those. When I'm making Slims, he also gets that, but he gets this special glandular support by Mercola Pets, Dr. Becker. The reason why I'm giving him this is because he was desexed, so neutered, really young, like 5 months, and the glands within the body and the whole immune system doesn't really function the same way when they're desexed, especially before they even get to puberty. So he came across from Mexico already neutered, and this is to top up his glandular health and his overall just normal hormone balance. It's for hormonal balance. So if you have a dog that's spayed, this is a great product for any dog at any age. Yeah, after they've been spayed or neutered. And then I would just go ahead and take my greens that I just made. Here we go. And I'm going to make it and put it into containers. But now that I've just made it, I can measure out if I wanted to, or just kind of add a little dollop of greens in there. Maple loves her greens. So, you know, do what you wish with it. I'm going to mix that all up into a nice healthy mix. I could add, I actually do have a fish oil in my fridge. I'll edit that out. This is an omega-3, you know, for pets. And again, this is just, this is a wild anchovy and sardine oil. I like it because it's wild. I don't like it. I actually hate the way this fish oil smells. My dogs love it. It's just for, you know, that healthy coat, that extra omega-3 nutrient. You don't need a lot of it, you know, like my dog says 1.5 teaspoons. I might just give her just that much. I find if I give them too much fish oil, they can sometimes get a little bit of like watery poo or runny poo. So just watch how much oil you give them in their diet. Again, it's not that it's bad for them. It just changes things sometimes. Now, I've got a very, very healthy bowl of food here. But I'll put a little bit of water in for Maple because I make it into a bit of a stew for her. And there you go. That's what I feed my dogs. Hope that helps. Give you a little insight into my kitchen. My dogs love it. They're healthy. I've had no major issues with dogs on raw, and I am such a big proponent of feeding a species-appropriate diet. I know a lot of people are worried or nervous about this. You can always ask me questions. I can point you in the right direction, share resources, because I had to learn this. It was overwhelming for me too. I mean, make it your own. Do what you want to do with it. See how your dogs like the mix. Maybe add a couple of tablespoons and gradually add more. My dogs love it, so I can give them a lot. I try not to give them too much in proportion to what they're eating, but they do get a good portion of greens every day. They seem to do really well, right? So it makes me feel good as a pet owner, giving them that extra boost for their immune system, for their health, and their overall vitality. Let me know what you do for your dogs. If you have any tips you want to share with me, please tell me. I'd love to hear them. All right. Take it easy until the next time.